So Ed, first question. From a consulting standpoint, you're involved with a lot of brands around the United States. Who are some of the brands that you're working with that are doing outstanding work in the activation space?
Well, there's a number of brands that we're working with. Visa, Anheuser-Busch, Marriott, Kia, USAA, all of whom really have evolved their organizations in terms of the new experience model, essentially really using activation, using experiences and putting themselves in a position for memorable opportunities for their brands.
How important is social, and what are some of the brands doing to engage in social now that they weren't doing a couple of years ago?
Well, it's clear that social is critically important. It used to be that experiential was simply an event that happened in a place. Now, through social and through digital, you really have the opportunity to be able to show the world, show social following, show people what is happening in a particular place. So the ability to really be able to amplify and be able to put them in a position that their brand is that much more meaningful, really in a place where the brand can have a reason to show up, if you will.
Some of the leagues or the teams that you're working with, what are they doing that's different now or special, and what leagues is IMG watching now going forward for activation for fans?
Well, we're in an interesting position because not only do we work with all the major properties, we also are owner of properties as well. So certainly you look at what is happening with MLS, you look at what some of the emerging properties that are out there, drone racing for example, but I guess selfishly I would certainly talk about UFC. Our ability to be able to own UFC, really be able to position it as a global property, and allow brands to come in and really be able to fully experience the property in a way that perhaps other of the major properties really can't do, I think is a real point of difference for us.
Trying to think if there's anything else. All the time you've spent around the consulting world and working for leagues and teams, what's been the biggest change in terms of fan activation from a few years ago, and what's the thing that you have your eye on going forward?
I think largely consumers or fans have become multi-hyphenates. So the days of I'm a sports fan, or I'm a music fan, or I'm a fashion fan, we're all of those things as consumers. So I think leagues, properties, and consumers are now really looking to and demanding the fact that there's really more of a cultural integration. So I can be a sports fan, but I may want to have culinary show up in that situation. I may want to see how music also enhances my experience. So I think that's really one of the key differentiators, and I think those properties that figure it out and those brands that figure it out are the ones that will win.
Perfect.